Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cool Kids podcast, where we hang.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Producer Lounge. This is your weekly music production broadcast.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And this is episode 132, I believe.
Dang.
I know. We're old.
It's the only time it'll happen, actually.
For now.
132.
Folks, we got some special guests for you today. We have the return of Any Heights.
Oh, shit.
Legend of the pod. You guys already know him.
He's a mastermind. And we have brand new coming to the stage.
Live indirect. We got Alby. What's up, boy?
Hey, I was hoping somebody would like hop on there.
I got you.
Thank
got
you,
you,
sir.
bro.
Albie, welcome to the podcast.
I appreciate y'all.
Welcome,
having me.
buddy.
Dude, it's so good to have you on. You're a great guy. I already like you a lot.
Yeah.
Might kill you in the morning, but
Oh, it'll be all right.
Yeah. From what
For now.
Vic was saying, black belt dojo legend over here. Fucking top tier, making it through the ranks.
Top tier Florida bass music.
Homie of the
Florida
dojo,
bass.
What
to
is
Vic.
it? What is it? Gulf Coast bass.
Gulf
Gulf
Coast
Co-
base, yeah.
Oh, shit. Gulf
shit.
Coast.
Gulf Coast buttered toast. That doesn't make any sense.
yeah, do you guys eat a lot of butter toast?
No.
Buttered base.
That's fair. It's not, I mean, it's bread and butter.
Right.
I mean,
That is my bread and butter, though.
hey.
Oh.
Bread and butter is my bread and toast. Buttered toast is my bread and butter.
A buttered roll. Huge shout out to Inspector Back. What's up, brother? In the chat.
Shouts,
yeah.
Inspector.
Shout out to Yehosha Wav for the follow and Blue Gum Beats for the follow.
Blue gum.
Love you guys. Big shouts. So on today's podcast, we're going to be talking about love,
Light.
relationships,
Chakras.
alms.
Ayahuasca.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere.
Vulvas.
Yeah.
Vulvas.
Vulva.
Volvos.
Palestine.
Yep, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict.
of course. We'll go there.
Welcome to the-
Ukraine. We're
Teacher
gonna
salaries.
Yeah.
teacher salaries.
A lot
yep.
of you forgot about the Ukraine. That's still
Yep.
happening, too.
Alex Jones, January 6th.
Jesus Christ.
Coming up.
Actually, popular topics on the podcast.
Very,
yeah.
very popular topics.
Yeah.
That's what we're about.
Especially vulvas.
This is a fun episode, though, where we have two producer dojo guys.
That's true.
This
Shout
is
out
interesting.
the producer.
Yeah, we could talk a
Dojo.
little dojo experience.
Yeah, I want some insight on the dojo. How long does it take to get to be a black belt? What does that mean? Is that like the highest tier?
Once you release an official EP, then you technically get a black belt. I started producing maybe 3 years ago, like around when COVID first hit.
Okay,
And,
word.
I started out, didn't know what the fuck I was doing, and then started watching videos, and then my buddy had gotten Mr. Bill's, the art of Mr. Bill's, and that's how I started, and that's the
yeah.
wrong place to start.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
I was 3 months in, like, I'm going to make every sound myself from scratch.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm going to synthesize
I'm not too far
every
off of
drum
that,
sound.
Yeah.
And then, luckily found the dojo shortly after that, and we're like, all right, there's a lot more info here. And
Nice.
then I speed ran it. I wasn't working at all, and it usually takes longer, but I did release my EP under the year because I did like a year subscription to it.
Oh,
and
shit.
then right
Okay.
at the end of it, like 2 weeks before it expired, because I didn't have money to re-up.
Right.
Because it very great, a little bit expensive, but like
Yeah.
for what it is, definitely worth it if you're trying to learn. And
Seems
then,
like it.
like 2 weeks before it expired, I submitted my EP and it got accepted.
Hilarious.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, are you gonna sign back up?" And I was like, "No, I thought I made it.
Yeah.
I thought I did it.
Thought I graduated. What's happening?
Isn't this the thing?
But it was a cool experience. It's good to have goals and stuff. And yeah, the whole learning experience for anybody that's new, I would highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, 3 years to an EP that's of quality is very impressive. Alby's a fucking.
That's what I was just gonna say. Yeah.
Alby's a fucking monster in the studio, dude. Like, it's crazy to work with him. He does not stopped at any point. Like he can keep going and keep going and keep going.
Let's
and
go.
It's really
That's what's up.
impressive to
Let's
kind of like
go.
work with him.
Hell yeah.
That's funny. It's very Mr. Billy.
It-
To just like keep going, you just keep breaking
This is actually a promo
shit.
for Mr. Bill.
Yeah, it's a promo for
Right.
Mr. Bill.
right.
That angry
Come
old
on,
man.
come on the podcast.
Yeah, come on.
The,
It-
the Palmcast.
it's fine.
Angry old man.
It's fine for your optics. You'll be fine, Mr. Bill.
Yeah, it does seem like you adapted quick to it. But like quick learner, getting an EP out that quick and getting accepted for the release through them, like that's saying a lot. That's saying so much.
Oh yeah, it was super cool to get it accepted because I was all
Right.
nervous and I was like, "Is it going to?" But yeah, immediately they're like, "Oh yeah, we want to put it out like as soon as possible," and I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
Amazing,
But, no,
man.
I have a bunch of music background, so it's like I'm 30 now. I didn't get into like bass music or electronic music, any of that, until maybe like 5 years ago. My first festival was Halloween, which was like
Oh,
a couple
nice.
hours away from where I was at in Florida for a while.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, I started out with like jam bands like Humphreys McGee,
Yeah,
and then like
yeah.
kind of like transitioned into like the floozies and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then like slowly it went to like all the heavier stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, this
Yeah.
is fucking
This
tight.
is actually
Yeah.
what I like.
Yeah, this is actually cool. I need to buy a laptop, and I need to buy Ableton. And, yeah.
Quick before we move forward, real quick, you guys should all just scoot my way just a skosh. Sure. Because Austin's
sure,
kind of
dude?
getting clipped off.
I think it looks pretty good right here.
Yeah, you're fine. I mean, you could move left, Austin, if you want to. Oh, I didn't
Just
know
a
you,
couple feet that way.
Eh.
we're sponsored by White Claw, in case anyone is curious.
Sorry.
Here,
Also,
No, it's fine on the desk. That's fine.
that is such a move.
Give me one.
Also, to be clear, we are big fans of Mr. Bill.
yes,
We
Oh,
are
yeah.
just talking shit for fun. We love Mr. Bill. He taught us so much.
I'm sure he
Shit.
can take
Oh
it.
yeah, no. Going back, that was just the wrong place to start
Yeah.
because even
Oh,
though it
yeah,
was
totally
wrong-
that.
because I have a music background, it still was really helpful. But like for learning a bunch of stuff, it was like, all right, I needed something more basic.
Yeah.
But after I
You
learned,
you weren't shitting on him. We were.
oh, yeah, no, that guy's the worst.
No, I hear you on that. I agree, but I also did watch Mr. Bill tutorials at the
Same.
very fucking beginning.
Yep.
And yeah, I think that trying to learn to make your own sounds is really good for you.
It is.
And really helpful for understanding all the different things involved in the audio world. You
Right.
get to understand like the frequency spectrum really well,
Right.
which
Yeah.
is nice.
And like how to maintain it throughout creation of sound. Because like it's really easy to let shit get wily.
Right, right.
You start realizing you can't use any of that, and you have to like, go back to square one a lot. But then you start figuring it out.
And you get quick with it, where you
Yeah.
start from square one,
Yep.
and it doesn't take as long to make your sound. You know, you get more comfortable.
Right, you can kind of tailor it a little bit easier. You're like, I know I want a doink, and I know how to get to a doink in about 700 different ways.
Yeah, a doink.
So let's
Sometimes
try-
you want to squonk.
Right, let's go the 701th way. I haven't
Yeah.
tried this one way with a fucking limiter in this spot, so let's do it this way.
a ploink.
There you go.
Oh, dude, ploinks.
Points are
Yeah.
good.
Points are good.
Yep.
Looks-
True. True.
I like a good whoop.
Yep. I like a good, you know. It's always a good time. It's also fun.
Oh.
A Frankenfunk.
These are all
is
free
fun.
samples for anybody who wants to
It's literally
rip
just
the audio from this podcast.
Yeah.
I was just thinking.
Yeah.
If someone makes a beat out of this, we'll use it for an intro.
Please
Fuck
do.
yeah.
In it.
Inspector,
Fuck yeah.
Inspector, we're talking to you.
Inspector, we're talking to you.
There you go.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and Halloween was a dank first fest. Inspector.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yes.
completely agree. That was a crazy first fest.
So, who was the first person that you saw in electronic music where you're just like, fuck, that's it?
Good question.
Would you at this festival? Let's just say at Halloween. Who did you
At
see that was
that
like you're super
festival?
hyped on?
I don't know. It was all so overwhelming.
Yeah. Probably didn't know any names at the time,
No,
too.
I knew no
Right.
names.
That's
so, like,
fair.
I was seeing the jam band stuff and everything like that. No, and I hate to say it, but Bass Nectar was there. And that was a
Yeah.
switch flipped with that.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, he
even
does
though with all the stuff like
live.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, when he's like molesting chicks on stage and shit, that shit's crazy.
That's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it does suck to
Classic.
say because like Bass Nectar was a huge inspiration for me also.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
sure.
for a lot of people.
So-
Me too. Like,
Yeah.
before
Beta
all
Nectar.
of this.
Beta
Yeah.
Nectar, excuse
Beta
me.
Nectar.
Yeah,
You got to be able to separate it.
you think so?
The bass nectar from the
The
beta
art from the
No,
human.
Exactly. I'm not saying I'm going to see him right now, but like, yeah, you got to be able to separate it.
Michael
because
Jackson.
That doesn't.
Woody
that doesn't
Allen.
affect. Yeah, we could go on for days, but that doesn't expect the
Joe Rogan.
experience that you had personally.
100%.
Or
100%.
you know,
right? Yeah.
like just because one person made a mistake, you know, you don't have
Right.
to like condone that, but
Yeah.
like you also don't have to like talk shit about yourself or
Right.
like be like that
Oh,
was
yeah,
a bad
definitely
experience.
not.
Like yeah,
Right.
It's not your fault.
Yeah, it's the whole like separate the art from the artist.
Yeah, you
thing.
didn't molest
The
him.
constant debate.
Unless you're a
Right.
scantily clad 17-year-old
Oh
woman.
God,
Hey.
Jesus Christ!
Hey, then maybe it is.
J-Mo cut that part.
Yeah, we'll take it out of post. This is a live show, though, folks. Welcome to the party. If you want to cancel us, our email is always400official@gmail.com.
Yeah.
It is weird though.
Cancel us.
The amount of fucking pull that Bass Nectar had. Like, what was it about him and his music that just like
live
pulled
shows were
people in?
fucking sick, dude.
They were.
He was like improving the whole time. It was fucking wild. He had like shitloads of just touch pads. He was just fucking throwing Ableton loops together live and shit. Like, it was sick. And he had like 3 redundancies. So like, if any laptop or computer died, like all 3 are playing the exact same thing, and it just slaves to the next one immediately. Like
He did that?
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That shit was all set up, all sick, dude.
Wow.
He knew what the fuck he was doing in and out of the bus, if you know what I mean.
I was like, what the fuck was that? Jesus.
Yeah, I saw him a couple times and I never enjoyed it. I can honestly say I've never listened to Bass Nectar and been like, I like this.
It's a visual. David's not a work.
Yeah. Apparently.
I have work tendencies in me.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm like half work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him once
Hybrid
in
work.
2008, and it was sick. It was tight, and I liked his albums less and less as time went on, but also he's just a collab king. So it's like when you like one of his tracks, it's like, but I like him with Ganja White Knight or him with
With Ill
this.
Gates
Yeah, like
or
there were
whatever.
certain ones.
You
and
mean
then,
a stealing
right?
king?
Well, then once you learned that, you were like, well, fuck. Now who do I like? You know.
Right? Who is it that I really like?
And the question is, or the answer is, turning sound.
That's a good one.
It's a good one.
No, in the sort of year or two after that, some of the people that I saw that I really liked, fucking G. Jones blew my mind.
Oh.
Tipper blew my mind multiple times.
Shouts Tipper.
Charles the First is what.
Charles the First.
Inspector brought up.
Closey, I've been loving
Yeah.
her stuff.
Closey's tight.
Love that girl. That
Love
girl's
it.
slaying it.
Denver loves
Saruda.
Closey.
Saruda's played one of the
Saruta's
best sets I've
great.
ever seen.
Saruda's
Saruda.
sick as
At
fuck.
Okeechobee 2
Oh,
years
yeah.
ago, he played a 90-minute set at like 2 in the afternoon,
Oh.
and this was on like Friday,
Yeah, sounds
and that
sick.
made my whole fucking weekend. I was
I
like,
believe
I don't
that.
care what else
I
I,
believe
see.
that.
Like,
I've seen
Yeah.
Saruda a couple times.
Yeah.
Fucking sick.
he
slays.
He's so
a G.
good.
We saw him with Chi.
Yeah.
Fellow
was
Twitch
my
homie,
first
by
time I
the
saw him,
way.
yeah.
Yep.
She
Fellow
played,
Twitch
yeah,
Go
she
follow
played
him on
right
Twitch.
before him, and she was super
Oh.
sick too.
Yeah. Dude,
That,
I love Chi.
the stage was having sound problems, so she was pretty quiet. And like even like lab group the next day, like I had to leave because it's like there's so much going on. We couldn't hear what was going on just because
That's
there were
wild.
stage problems. Yeah.
Wow.
The only person that whole weekend on that stage that was like properly loud and you could hear was Saruda. So I don't know if he just knew. I don't know if he just knew what was going on and he cranked it on his end. I think he had to have because everyone else got fucked at that stage, which was really sad to see because I was so stoked to see Lab Group.
Right.
And like it sucked so much to leave
That's
that
such a
stage.
sick name.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And Specta was just bringing up. I keep seeing this all over social media, but apparently Copycat
Yeah,
threw
slayed.
down
Yeah, I saw
last
that.
weekend.
I
Yeah.
mean,
I've seen
Of course,
so many
yeah.
clips.
Copycat.
Kyle was
Right.
at that show. Ion Voyager.
Aeon Voyage, yeah.
Yeah, and Voyage.
And he took some video,
I saw that.
and the fucking Cohen sound video looked so sick.
Oh. Oh wait, did Copycat play with Cone Sound?
Yeah.
Is that what
yeah,
happened?
yeah, they
oh
played together.
my
Oh,
god!
yeah, fuck
yeah. Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't believe I missed
Which
that.
Yeah.
they're
it-
both introverted enough. Like both groups are introverted enough to be ridiculously
oh, yeah, they're
good.
fucking
Yeah.
nerds,
Like,
man.
yeah, it's the best.
Those are some nerds. All of those.
Who
Oh
else
my
was on
god!
that? Edit was on that show?
Yes.
Yeah.
Inspector, how is Edit? I'm a big fan of that dude. Just
Yeah.
going back to the glitch mob and
Yeah,
everything. Was
dude.
he I have seen the videos of Copycat and Cohen Sound. But dude, I thought
Did Edit? I want to know. Did Edit DJ or did
Edit's
he bring
fucking
gear?
cool, dude. I fucking
Yeah,
love that
dude's a
dude.
Yeah.
cool ass little Asian
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, that dude is sick as fuck.
He was sick.
Whoa, with
according
the
to Inspector
KKK, dude. Inspector.
Hey, easy,
Whoa.
easy.
Whoa.
This isn't that kind of podcast.
Inspecta canceled. It's official.
We'll edit it out as well. It's a lot of editing.
There's a lot of editing this podcast.
This one,
Yeah.
yeah, this one's
Not
gonna,
happy about it.
Yeah. Some extra hours on this pod.
I've said it a million times on the pod before, but
did
I
bring
have to
gear.
say it again, is that like Cohen Sound was one of my favorite shows of all time when I saw them at Mission. It like literally changed the way I approached music afterwards. Because I was like a rhythm guy before and just like the heaviest, like, I don't know, whatever the fuck. And then I saw Cohen Sound and everything changed from
Right.
there. And I still remember that night because John was there, Restraint, and he was like whispering in my ear. He was like, "You could do this if you want to. You could join us. This could be you." Yeah. Fucking John. I still think about that like all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, so we actually, I don't mean to interrupt, we have a funny Restraint story. Can we tell it?
Sure.
Oh yeah, so I've never met the dude, and then randomly some dude I was camping with in Florida at Halloween, like he made music too. I think he makes drum and bass. But anyway, he was like,
Sounds
"Hey,
about
I've
right.
got this sick ass operator patch, and it's called Tipper Operator." And then he was like, "Here, take this, but like don't give it to anybody."
What?
Right.
And I've been using that shit in a lot of my songs. And then like I looked at it, and like in the name, it's like by Restraint.
What?
Yeah,
I've been using
dude,
that,
When you told
and
me
then
the
I-
story, I was tripping out.
Oh,
No, I showed up here and I
That's
was like telling
insane,
him about it.
actually.
I was like, "This is where this sound comes from. This is where this sound comes from." Like pulled up one of Restraint songs and like, "Oh, this is this sound and that." And I've been talking about wanting to like reverse engineer it for like all the cool like because there's a lot of cool like vocal, like vocoder filtering,
Right,
like
yeah.
and it's all Ableton native. I'm sure he does it another way. But like for that patch that he made, and I've been wanting to like recreate
Hilarious.
like the just
John, are you in
so
chat
you
right
can
now?
use it on most of the like just any sound.
Yeah,
really. I've
just
been wanting
anything.
to like take out the EQ and like the filter peaks and stuff on EQ8, and then they're like, "Oh, that's my friend," and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I lived with him for a year." I'm like, well, what is
That's fucking insane.
Dude, it
No,
was
it's
so
wild.
random. Like, it literally is just like, dude, I have this patch. It's just like, it's this Tipper patch somebody gave me at a festival.
Yeah.
It's like from Restraint. I'm just like, dude, those are my friends' friends.
Those are the homies.
You
That is
just
so
did you just
fucking
join,
crazy.
John?
So
He's usually in chat.
Yeah.
he is.
Yeah. Well, if you
So
see
his
the
We're not
racks
seeing
are just
him,
getting
so- Thank
you.
around. That's
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
amazing.
I don't know if
Also,
he's getting around. Like, also, like, if you meet, like, a production
John
plan,
shares the fuck out of his shit.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
does.
yeah.
He does.
It makes sense.
The
Yeah.
most unique story, right? Like, full circle, kind of, where it's just like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's adorable.
It's literally full circle story. That's so fucking cool.
no, yeah,
Amazing.
and then we
Sick ass
got
patch.
then we got Alby in fucking Denver, Colorado. Boys, dope. Let's go.
Yep.
I thought
Let's
it was
go.
sweet.
Let's go.
Hell
the,
yeah.
the scene is building and spreading as we know it.
Yeah.
And there is proof right there. Also, I'm fucking jealous. I don't have John's tipper rack.
Oh.
I want John.
He told me not to share it with anybody.
I wonder who that guy was that gave it to
I
you.
have
I'm
been,
so curious now.
That's the thing. So
I'm trying to remember his name.
let's
It'll
not.
come to me. Yeah, let's not.
Yeah,
It
that's
was,
fine. That's fine.
I think his name was Ahi.
I know,
Yeah, it was
right?
Ahi.
Oh.
It's actually called Ahi's Magic Tipper Rack.
Yes.
By restraint.
Edit that one out.
Shout out.
Hilarious
Same
to
old-
think that Ahi is ghost
Written by
doing his videos, ghosted somehow ghosting. I don't know how that works.
Shaheladin.
Oh,
Let's
Shaheladin, what's up, buddy?
The Shihidon in the chat.
Shaheladin. Shaheladin. I bet you.
Oh yeah, the unison chord MIDI pack. All right, guys, we're gonna cut to a quick commercial break.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
If you've had trouble making MIDI sounds and melodies, you're gonna love this pack. It's called the Unison Chord MIDI Pack,
Ooh.
and yeah, you've got to get it. It's $5,000.
Oh,
and
nice and
you have to
cheap.
sell your soul.
Yep.
But yeah, you're never gonna have to be smart again. And it's gonna make all your music for you. It's perfect.
amazing.
JMO, clip it.
Clipped. Son.
Wow, that was a statement right there.
Dude, you're a natural with
statement.
the sponsors. Let's
Yeah.
go.
The Unison Chord MIDI pack.
What is that?
I
Is
have
it-
actually seen this
is
much
it
on like
really
Instagram.
expensive?
You guys don't
sponsors.
have it on like your YouTube like advertisements.
Oh,
It never
Oh,
pops
they
up.
That's
spam
what it
ads.
is. Yeah, I see that fucking all the time.
There's like the Dead Mouse Masterclass where it's just
Oh,
The cardinal
God.
sin of EDM.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is the cardinal sin of EDM. Bow. Like what? I didn't learn
Oh,
anything here.
that was such a fucking moment.
That
right
was a
there.
fun moment, right?
He probably hated that so
Dude,
much.
so
yeah.
I saw a
Yeah.
funny video with Dead Mouse one time where he's just like, dude, I subscribed to the tier up from YouTube where it doesn't give you the ads because I kept on getting ads of myself saying that. I thought that was hilarious.
Oh, that would drive me nuts if I had to see myself say something like that all
he didn't
the
edit
time.
it, right? It was the
right, of
masterclass,
course.
Like,
yeah,
no.
and he probably didn't make the choice to just distribute it over and over for years.
yeah, right.
Like, Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Can
shit.
you just make a new masterclass, please? Somebody?
Sheldon said he bought the Dead Mouse masterclass. How was it?
So
Oh,
It
Did
was
you learn
bad.
anything?
It was bad.
no, it wasn't bad.
I watched that shit.
I'd say it was
Oh,
a little
did you?
basic.
Yeah.
but it wasn't. I don't think it was bad. At
Basic.
least like when I saw it.
Basic.
Yeah.
Sheldon says it was the best.
Let's go.
Everybody go by. We're going to cut to another ad break
Yep.
real quick.
Real quick ad break. for you guys.
Oh, okay.
This is the cardinal sin of EDM.
Welcome back to the cardinal sin of E EDM.
And we're back.
Oh, it wasn't. Oh, yeah, no. I thought he said was. All right, yeah. All right, don't buy it.
Oh,
Sorry.
he said wasn't.
Sorry, Dead Mouse. I know you're watching this.
Oh, God.
Why isn't
I
Bitwig
would
in this list?
love that.
What the
Oh, yeah.
fuck?
I want to talk about Bitwig.
Okay.
I've heard a lot about it.
It's
and,
beautiful.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things.
It's the best.
You both use it?
Yes, sir.
Do all of you use it? Are you
No.
on Ableton?
I'm on Ableton still.
Alright, cool.
Yeah, and they give me shit for it every
So
podcast.
You're still going to heaven then.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, well, there's
No.
a layer above heaven, guys.
That's I actually
Heaven is just A level.
Yeah.
I actually use GarageBand, so
Yeah.
I'm not one to talk.
Yeah, well, there's layers of hell too. So
We're going to double heaven.
We're in Bitwig now.
Have both of you used Ableton before that?
yes,
Oh, yeah.
for many years, many
Oh,
years.
yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. Could you tell me like some of the things with like why you like it more?
Well, I'll
Or
show you the
what's
first coolest thing that I like about it. Let's just quick get a faceplant in here.
Also, thank you for asking that question because you're probably making them so rock hard right now.
Dude, they're hard.
Oh,
as
dude.
fuck.
Oh my
know.
god!
I already
Yeah.
came.
They're like,
can
oh,
see it.
I'm
from
like
here.
mellowing back out again.
Right.
I'm ready for round two.
we get
Those
to
are-
explain why Bitwig's the best. They're just like,
There's a reason this table is at
My
this height.
Bitwig's the best.
So
My Bitwig brings all the boys to the yard.
and they're like, it's better than yours. Damn right. It's better than yours. So let's just map a couple things real quick here.
damn, you made
on
that
some
preset fast, dude.
macros.
You just built that from
Also,
scratch.
phase plant, pretty sick.
Phase plant.
Phase
I just
plant,
got
yes.
it. Yeah.
Oh,
hell
did you?
yeah.
So
Hell yeah.
sick.
Okay, we got to talk about that afterwards.
Phase
Shut
plant
up.
Oh,
is
yeah. I don't
the
quite
goat.
know how to use it yet.
It is
So-
the
getting
goat.
into it, but their presets are fucking fire.
Oh yeah, baby.
I love me some presets.
Same.
Like I'm all about presets.
Let's go.
And they've got some good presets.
Right?
Like maybe I'll edit it sometimes, but like
Sure.
if it's fine for the song, I'm not changing shit.
Yeah. And Glork Glunk has wavetables in there that are like just defaulted.
Oh, I
They
know
come
what
with phase plant.
Right.
His wavetables are insane.
Yes.
Oh, I haven't checked those out.
They're
Gonna have
sick.
to.
Yeah.
I haven't dug that deep. My buddy John in LA, hello Ego. Shout out to John. He's
Shout
never
out.
Shouts.
he's never gonna see this probably. But no, a
Fair.
fucking phenomenal.
We'll clip it and tag him.
Yeah, oh true. Yeah.
Right.
I'm just kidding. We won't.
One of
Send
the
it to him.
worst music producers ever.
Oh.
He's actually fantastic. He teaches for Icon Collective
Oh,
in
okay.
LA.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
no,
We know them.
he's phenomenal.
Hello,
Goddamn.
Yeah,
Last week's
one of the best.
guest
he
is a
talked me
graduate.
into
Inspector Beck
talked
in
me
the
into
chat.
getting it.
That's sick. That's sick.
Shaheladin, we did bring you here to come. And to make you come, if you
Okay,
look
so
to the
here's
bottom
a
left here, and you
little
can look on your
example of
screen.
why Bitwig is the
So
shit.
here's your normal thing. I can add. This is one nice thing is I can just
It's a VST
straight up
right there.
add an EQ that way, just adding the button, and I get a browser instead of like Control F like you would in Ableton.
Oh yeah, Control F takes so
It
long.
sucks. So, but the cool thing I want to show you is here. I have this little show modulators button, which I can then insert any number of modulators I want: LFOs, pitch, ramps, randoms.
Yeah, note
sorts of shit.
followers,
So-
audio rate.
Let's just map a random to this first macro here. Just like that. And then let's just copy this random LFO, like, I don't know, like
As many times as
many
wanted.
times as I want to. And let's just
You're right. This was a mistake.
let's just bring it over to this one. And let's map a bunch of these randoms onto my EQ that I can just now just put onto the gain, and it's just going to randomly do stuff. You can just do this however many times you want. It's crazy.
Random
Like,
LFOs are definitely worthwhile, and it's something Ableton was slacking on for a good little
just
bit.
having LFOs
Yeah.
integrated is my
Yeah.
biggest annoyance with
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ableton.
They have a drawable as well.
Yeah. Like we can do, was it
You can do a
curves?
curve, yeah.
So I can come in here in curves, and I can open this bad boy up,
Oh.
and I can just draw a little guy.
All right,
And
so if you actually want to work,
I can even have
That's actually
Oh, we
that's,
wanna
that's
work.
super neat. So for each
that's
one of
actually sick as
for each
fuck.
one of those
yeah.
Right.
LFOs,
I make jokes, but that is sick as fuck.
Make the jokes. We love it. We love it here.
So you can draw for each one of those like individual LFOs that you added in.
these are
Yeah.
randoms, but I could just
Open it up and
I
draw
could
the
just
envelope?
replace them. No, it's a
You can
different
copy
one.
paste them.
Oh wait, Inspector
I
and
would have
Sheldon
to-
both went to Icon. His name's John. Hello Ego. I think he started there like a year or two ago.
you just
That is
graduated?
the homie.
Yeah.
So
let's
they
go.
have
That's
curves,
insane.
which
Look at
is
all
a-
this icon fucking stuff happening over here.
It's a drawable LFO, and then there's is it segments? Is the envelope that
It's like
is
a
drawable.
sampler where it has the loopable section.
It's got a little
within the-
loopable. This blue section is loopable. I haven't really messed with this one a whole lot, but it's fucking wild.
Well, that's it. That's enough LFO. That's enough LFOs that I would need to
Dude.
get done what I'm.
Oh,
trying
yeah.
To do.
And it's got fucking 20 other ones. It's crazy. It's out of control. And
pretty
then
cool.
another.
And you can apply them to fucking everything. You could apply them track wide.
Right.
One LFO
Right-
you could
right
apply
here.
track wide.
Boom.
Wow.
Oh, that's
Whole
sick.
project. This LFO is now. I can map
It will
anything in the
sync up
project.
all the way across the
It's
project.
still there in that one. It'll still be here in this next instrument.
Oh, that's interesting. I
Right.
didn't know that.
Or audio track. It's still there.
I do
It's
also.
a newer thing.
Yeah, it's
that they
new
added.
with Bitwig 5.
One thing I kind of like with Bitwig, and this is a dumb, subtle little thing, but having all the track control on the left
I love it
makes
too.
more sense in my brain than it being on
Same.
the right, like in Ableton. Like I've gotten used to it in Ableton. That's all I've ever known. But
We're American. We go left to right.
Yeah.
yeah,
Goddamn right.
exactly. There we go.
Goddamn right.
However,
we are
the
American.
search on the right
Caleb and David are just
fucks me up.
patriots.
I don't like the search on the right.
Well, the nice
That's
thing is,
that's
Trump
super
2024.
weird.
you don't have to have it. You can just always do this. You can always just do the plus, and then you can get an instrument, you can get effects, you can do whatever you want.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It's got a very good file system.
I think all DAWs should give you the option of like how you orient it.
Yeah.
Or if you want it to pop up on the left,
you
or the
might be
top
able to
or the
do that
right.
in here.
Honestly, yeah.
I'm
Why
not
have none of them
exactly
done
sure
that?
about that, but
And Victor had a good point today because we were kind of talking about this. He was like, "Yeah, 2 of them switched to Bitwig." And we were talking about, the sort of positives of like the sort of competition with it. It's not necessarily competition. It's
It pushes.
like once it pushes the technology forward.
Correct.
will you
that
drag
makes both the DAWs
a
better.
sample in
Exactly.
into
Right.
a thing?
And apparently,
Where'd your sample thing go?
what Dave and Caleb have said on the pod before is a lot of the guys who developed Bitwig used to work for Ableton.
Because they're both German
Oh,
companies,
sick.
right?
Yeah, Berlin.
Yeah,
That's
so it's
sick.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So it's literally like if Ableton just split off into a new thing, which is kind of cool. Kind of cool.
Yeah, no, super cool.
Right.
That's how you get new, because it develops new workflows, it develops new ideas. You
Yeah.
got different people working on new ideas, and that pushes like the grand scheme of music forward faster.
Exactly.
So-
right, which is what it's all about.
So here's another thing. So we just dragged a sample in here, and what it gives you, instead of your workflow is up here, you're copying, pasting, you're doing your fades and everything up in the arrangement section. It has what's called containers. So when you click on it, you get this little screen at the bottom, much like you would see in Ableton, but with this, you can go and edit within it.
Oh,
And-
that's actually
And then
sick.
you can
I like
loop that shit
What?
within your arrangement.
What the fuck?
So that shit will loop out,
That's wild.
and
And
there's
they-
all sorts of shit that goes along with that. But
And they just came again.
Let's see here. Let's see how
it's
this
so
sounds.
crazy.
God damn it.
No, wait.
Let's go, Vic. Let's go.
I can do it a third time.
Yeah.
So I've
Sounds sick.
heard.
Got one more in me.
I've heard that Bitwig's warping capabilities are far superior to Ableton's. Could you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I can. No, it's very similar actually.
Sure. Here.
But
God.
have you heard of what is the warping algorithm that it uses? It's that plugin.
Is it-
Elastic Pro.
Elastic. So have
I
you
think
heard
it's
of the Elastic Pitch, that plugin that does a pitch shifting?
No.
It's a really good pitch shifting plugin anyway.
Is it
it's
free?
built in. It's built into
so it's in.
into the warping modes that
Right.
you can use.
So here's kind of your normal. Here's your basic sound. Let's increase it by 200% on stretch. It's gonna keep the
pretty good.
pitch. Elastic Pro, slightly different timbre, but you have this formant.
And you can
That sounds nice.
automate that format as
Yes.
well.
You can automate that.
Yeah, Ableton. What the fuck are you doing?
Agreed. And
Like,
then
what the fuck?
Not only that, but you get a resolution.
You're gonna make me put it in the simpler or sampler, and you're gonna have two confusing
Complex
simpler /
Pro,
samplers that I
whatever
don't even
the fuck.
remember which one is which.
but you can
Come on.
you can augment the resolution. Like that's 512, 128. There's some sounds it's like it'll change completely the quality of the stretch, which is so nice.
I'll
to
be
have a
honest, I don't fuck
fine-tune.
with that very
I fuck
much,
with that
but I need
constantly.
to.
It's
I need
so
to.
nice. I usually only do 128, 256, or 512. I keep it in the resolution patterns normal to most.
How
Software.
come? Was that like a tip that they say to do?
No, I just started doing it because I know, like, I just think of it as buffer size. So, like, I feel like the in-betweens are weird, but maybe I should fuck with more of the in-betweens.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Um,
I'd just be looking for the.
but what's nice is
The
there's,
right
like, cyclical, which is very aliasing style. Like, you can get
I like
kind of
that.
the sampler
That's
vibe.
that's a different sound altogether.
All right.
And Alby just came.
Guys, I'm switching to Bitwig.
Well, we haven't even pitched it yet.
Yeah, no, honestly, pitching around. That's my
Right,
favorite
right?
thing to do with samples. Pitching
Oh, yeah.
around.
Ooh, that's nice, actually. I like that.
That is nice.
And here, let's just quickly
I was gonna say, what is this little formant guy I'm saying?
automate the format here.
It's
You
the
can
same format.
automate?
Yes.
Oh,
It's the same format that he was fucking with. It's just in the automation
Okay.
lane within the container.
Yes.
that's one thing that Ableton can't do that fucking sucks is automate the format.
Yeah.
When you're
Yeah, and
playing
it's
with
so
the audio
fucking hard.
samples.
It's so fucking hard to resample it and then like do it naturally. That's so
Right.
much fucking work.
There's a max for,
Like
there's a-
that throws you out of your zone.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to do it now. I'm already fucking with technical shit. Like let me keep doing this and automate it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that sounds nice.
So I don't want to compare them because they're different, but there's a Max for a live device where you can just warp it in simpler and then you can automate it.
Yeah.
It's a free Max for a
Oh.
live device.
Really? What's it
it
called?
might crash Ableton though.
You Google
Yeah, it might crash Ableton, and when you open your project back up, it might
Also,
not work at first
or at all.
or at all.
Might have
yeah.
reset it.
Dude, Vic, you are always on the Max for Live
He
things.
is. He's a big Max for Live guy. though.
Every time I've been like, I wish you could do this, you're like, I got you, bro. Max for Live.
Which
Well,
is
they're different, right? Like I'm not saying
Correct.
that there's, like they're very different, but that is a drawback of Ableton. And the cool thing about Ableton is it's within the Max platform, where it's just like
True.
now there's 1,000 fucking nerds programming this shit every day. So check for like,
Correct.
if you don't have a feature you need, check for it because somebody probably made it. And then you're supporting other people. I love Gumroad. I love Bandcamp. I love where you can just like give somebody $2 for something that they programmed. And I don't have, now that they integrated
True.
Max for Live into Ableton and it's like one of the own, it's not like a separate kind of like thing. It's pretty stable. Like it still fucks up sometimes, but like so does if you have like 20 serums in a project.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
Does Bitwig have a sort of Max for Live equivalent?
Bitwig is Max for Live.
It has the grid. This would be the closest thing you could get to
So-
a Max for Live. It's not a programming thing, but the grid is like a.
What the
It's
fuck?
like a
it's like what's that called?
modular,
Modular.
like
shit.
like
Really?
Yeah, 'cause you're,
modular
like, drawing
synthesis
lines. You're like
but within the software. So it's like VCT rack, VCV rack.
VCV rack.
It's like that, but their own version of it.
You get not only a instrument version of it, but there's
FX?
There's a FX grid too, where you have an in and out, and you can sit here and
That's so cool.
put just a hard clipper.
So people will use this in that way. They'll like
Yeah, I just
make
want a hard clipper.
tools
Boom.
within this
That's so cool.
grid.
How would you make like can you do like a parallel, I'm assuming? Like kind of thing?
Yes, I believe. So.
I don't think either of us know how to use the grid very
Oh, okay,
well.
that's fair.
Yeah, I haven't used the grid a lot, but I bet if you just do a.
No,
bet
if you
there's-
dragged another one, you should be able
Yeah,
to
you just
route it
duplicate
like
it
that.
and then just
yeah.
like run it dually.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, just like
Yeah.
parallel.
Just
You
like that.
duplicate the middle one.
That's actually sick.
duplicate the middle one.
Yeah, into the second parallel. So you'd be like doing it, or like add like a
You-
phaser
yeah, you
into
wanna
the
do
second
it
one or something.
Different effect.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh,
Okay,
I
sick.
see.
Yeah. No, that's cool
I
as fuck.
see.
This reminds me of like Blender or like 3D rendering
Right.
shit, like
Nodes.
nodes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is pretty fun to dick around in. I have a preset by Chi, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
shout out Chi again.
This thing right
You
here.
have a Chi preset? Did he work with Bitwig?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we actually
He
talked
does
about
use
this.
Bitwig. There is a project file that you can just download straight into Bitwig from Bitwig, and it has. He made everything with native Bitwig shit,
Oh, I'm
and it's a
jealous of
sick.
that.
It's a fucking sick little tune.
What's
but-
sick about this patch is he's using these oscillators that are in here. These native grid oscillators have a fold and a skew, which is so sick.
That's
you can
weird.
turn a triangle into a saw instantly, and then just immediately drop it.
Wow.
It's so sick, dude. I use this sub on almost every track.
Good stuff.
It's such a good sub.
I feel like
gross.
Serum doesn't even have a skew,
No,
right?
Serum
No.
is bad.
They have a couple. Yes, Serum's not that great.
Serum's bad. Faceplant all day.
The nice thing about Serum is there's thousands upon thousands of presets. That's
Yeah.
the one thing. Like you can go on Splice.
True.
That's how you get
hundreds
famous.
of
Use
millions.
Serum presets.
Yeah.
Right, 100%.
Right.
But you can learn a lot from them too.
Yeah.
And
That's how
just
you get famous and then lose your fame.
Right. the duty is to grab all those presets in Serum and remake them in Faceplant better.
Duty.
He said dude.
Shout out Duty.
Right. That's sick.
Guys, we're going to take a quick duty break.
Quick duty break. Dave is already on it. He's going to clog it up. No, sorry. So something I wanted to ask both of you, something I've been hyped on asking, is are there any new techniques that, or just anything you guys have been hyped on specifically where you're like, I do this on every track right now because I'm
Right.
fucking pumped.
So the last like 10 days, Alby and I have just been in the studio together. So like we haven't really been. I definitely have new techniques, but I haven't implemented it into songs just because we're kind of writing and we're writing real fast. But one of the underslept on secret is random expression in Ableton.
I just learned about this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is that all about? You've actually dived into it.
Oh, yeah. So it's pretty much just kind of what this gives you. So random expression is a MIDI control
Based off of
effect. It's a MIDI control effect within Ableton that gives you certain MIDI controls. So it gives you all the MIDI control variations that you would want. So what is it? Velocity,
pitch.
yeah, pitch. So within MIDI control, one of the things is that it gives you random. So what I love to do is assign randomization to specific parts of an operator patch and then just kind of generate like, dude, just generating infinite results from like randomization is kind of like my new shit.
Yes.
I'm so happy you brought that up.
Amen.
I just learned about this like a week and a half ago because of AC.
Say the name of it again.
Expression control.
Expression control.
That's
Oh,
Max
okay.
Real
That's
Live.
the one that has like velocity and like key tracking. It has got a bunch of
MIDI
different shit
controls. So
within it. Yeah.
MPE, pitch, velocity.
Yeah.
But within that, you can select all of them and set them. So my favorite setting is like I'll take a random expression and I'll change everything to or expression control and I'll change everything to random and then I assign like all the values are just random and I'll assign them to parameters with an operator
Nice.
and just kind of
Yes.
let
Peace out,
Yes.
Sheldon.
let it play its fucking
Thanks
self.
for chilling.
Yep.
say
Shout out
that
Sheldon.
Sheldon's
Later,
dipping
homie.
out.
Peace out.
But no, the biggest thing for me has just been like figuring out ways to like randomize everything in Ableton, which is a different process. It seems like it's quite easy at Bitwig, but like finding out how to randomize everything, like through drum racks, through expression control, like
Nice.
randomization's kind of like the newest shit that I'm.
Yeah.
It's so fucking
Yeah.
good.
Dude, it's so
It's
sick.
so
and
good.
and what I love about the expression control is every time you hit a note, that's when it re-triggers everything. It's not just a constant movement the way like an LFO would be. So every time you hit the note, it just randomly places the values somewhere, but then it holds it there, which is kind of interesting.
And then it's real cool if you go in deep. There's a little button on the top right that lets you affect shape. So between those, you can affect like shapes between the randomization. So instead of just like a complete jump, you can create like a smooth curve.
How deep do you have to go?
Not that deep.
Hey.
At least 6 hits.
Yeah, at least 6 inches.
Yeah.
About 2 knuckles at the very least.
Chef Womp, who we were working on
That
a
deep.
tune with today, a fucking banger, by the way.
Shout out Chef Womp.
Yeah,
Sheesh.
big shout out.
Cook
Chef
me up
Womp.
something, baby.
Chef Womp's a monster.
Yeah, no, he was using Gradient, another Max for Live patch that was doing similar stuff.
Yeah, talk
different
to me about this
capabilities.
Gradient one.
So
I don't know what it is.
he was using Gradient with Simplant. I didn't mean to cut you off. Do you got it?
No, you've got it.
So he
I was zoning out.
So there's a Max for Live patch called Gradient. Pretty much what Gradient allows you to do is it's also like a MIDI randomization kind of tool. But Gradient's a little bit different than expression control where you pretty much just click any parameter within a VST and then assigns it to Gradient. And then within that, within Gradient, there's a mutation control. So he was using Synplant 2, with a patch that Alby had already made. He just loaded that into like the AI sample generator. And then within Simplant 2, he was touching all like the macro controls, assigning it to gradient. And then there's a mutate button where you get the same effect. You just press that and you're just instantly making like very kind of nuts mud pies at that point. All based from something that Alby made.
Whoa.
With
Just a little
Simplant 2.
1 second like bass sample, which actually Hello Ego made.
Device focus.
Okay.
Out of his modular stuff. That's where he grabbed that sample from.
Okay.
But no, good shit. So like you can
$20.
So you pull that up on a track. You literally open up any VST or like any,
Yeah, $20
Patch within
or
able
the
to.
project file that we have.
and then that mutate button and the mutate amount. You turn that up to like 100 or 90 or whatever you want it to be. And then when you hit the mutate, it pretty much gives you complete randomization. Of
Does it map itself to things or what? How do you map it to
So you
things?
can store presets within Gradient as well, and then you can manipulate. So let's say for the sake of argument, we have a simple respace, stored presets with 4 different patch points, right? And then if you drag that little sentinel circle between the 4, it mixes between the 4 different presets that you've stored.
Yep.
So it's really
Oh.
kind of a neat Max for live device.
That sounds
randomization
sick.
as
Yeah,
well.
I want to check it out.
Interesting.
So Inspected was saying he thinks it's like buggy. Have you had any like weird shit happen with it? You had any like?
Honestly, we were just playing with it today. We didn't have any issues. Also,
Okay.
we resampled it. So
Just
it wasn't-
resample as you're
It
using
wasn't. It wasn't something that we had to like leave in MIDI. It was
Yeah,
something,
smart.
We were just making mud pies from it.
That's the way
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah, guys, resample everything. Like,
Yeah.
Amen,
this is the
brother.
first time we played with
Hey.
Simplant 2, and like that's the coolest. Yeah, no,
It was particularly.
Jamie, clip that. Resample everything. If you're doing anything like that's new, you should be resampling it because that weird stuff you're going to come about, you're never going to find that sound again. And you can try to recreate it, but a lot of the times what happens is you hear that sound and you're like, oh, that was cool. And then
Yeah.
like, okay, what am I going to do? Like stop my workflow from what I was doing and try to remake
Try
that
and
sound,
just do that.
which will take how long? No, you need to be resampling everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of unique where it's just like. I would recommend it, and how I use kind of randomization is very much in like mud pies where it is getting resampled. I typically wouldn't use like this process for like something that I would keep in MIDI, and we were using it with Simplant too, so it's cool for that. I don't know if it's like buggy just because we were resampling, but I can see it. I definitely know like third-party like Mac patches can be wonky for sure.
Oh
Right,
yeah, no.
right.
Every
I
Max for
believe
Live patch is buggy.
Yep.
I haven't found one that isn't.
Yeah.
They're all fucking amazing.
It's because-
like, most of them are amazing, but yeah, they've got bugs.
Because the
Right.
So
codes
you
are
need to
That's
be
how it goes.
resampling.
It's because of the
freezing and
code
flattening.
that it's working with.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is kind of
Which
a
is
bummer.
kind of like the base of how it works. So it's not really that
Oh no, I mean Ableton's code.
Yeah, Ableton's
Oh,
just
yeah.
25 years old, so it's
Yeah.
just
it's
No,
a
code
rat's
is so
nest of
old.
code.
It's from
so
Germany.
It fucking kills
like,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you German lovers or what?
Right. Yeah.
Now listen to me.
Hey,
First the
both
Jews
of our
and now our plugins.
both of our DAWs are from Germany. Let's
Jamie,
not,
cut that.
So I did find Gradient, and again, it was just something cool we did today. I found it was really cool for making mud pies with Simplan 2.
Right.
That's
sure.
the only
Oh,
test that I've had.
Fuck
That's cool.
yeah.
That's
Oh,
cool.
I bet it was.
Yeah, like it was fun for that purpose only.
Oh hell yeah.
I think I literally saw it was either Inspecta or Fervor, or some dudes from the fuck house, using either expression control or something and just randomizing the fuck out of Simplant 2 and just recording it all and resampling it. And like literally every sound I was like, oh my god, like
I was.
thing is a
It
monster.
I was
sounds
showing it
and
to you that way.
natural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like
You
That's
fucked
exactly what I was doing.
You can get the same effect with expression control. The cool thing about Gradient is it didn't restrict the amount of things you allocated to it. With an expression control, you only have 8 abilities to do randomization, which is fine. So how I get around that is I'll make a MIDI effects group and I'll have like 7 expression controls in it. And then I just minimize like them when I'm done. And then let's say I do end up, if I was making a patch that I needed to operate in MIDI, I'd use expression control. I would assign that, and then I turn off the MIDI effect rack whenever I get to the end result, so that way that patch is just like stored as like the operator preset or something.
Sounds like a lot of work.
So that's the only difference where it's just like, I could see something where you assign 100 macros to it being buggy.
I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, right?
Inspector said LFO cluster and simplant.
Oh my god, LFO cluster is the shit.
I'm a-
Have we
Wait,
ever talked about that
No,
on here?
I'm unfamiliar.
Yeah, I think
Tell me.
you
Wait,
have.
is that an actual Max for Life?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
patch?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's pretty
what?
cool.
Dude,
That
it's
sounds
sick.
sick.
We'll pull
It
it
is
up,
sick.
too.
I'm
It's
assuming
fucking
it's
sick.
just a cluster of LFOs.
Exactly.
No.
It's actually a phaser. No, I think we did actually talk about it either when Inspector was on or like the week before, but it is literally just the same thing as just duplicating a bunch of LFOs, but essentially it's 6 LFOs built into one, and each of them have their own unique mappable, I don't know, whatever you call that button that you can map to shit.
The map button.
Yeah, but the really cool part about it is you can kind of warp all of the rates of them at the same exact time. So the way it works, so
Right,
there's
they're
these
all
little
connected.
there's
Oh,
these
what?
little orbits,
That's sick as fuck.
right? And you can change
That's
shape
cool.
and shit, which is fun.
It's like the universe.
It's the universe, man, and in a plugin. So when you
It's a
edit that little yellow
planetary-based
percentage
system.
down there in the blue, it changes your orbits and makes the LFOs of each individual parameter a different speed, which is cool.
Good looking, Inspector. That's dope. Yep.
Yeah.
You're right. It seems like we're all searching for the same thing.
Yeah.
and
Right?
Imperfection.
There you go.
Wait,
Down.
Helisert?
Imperfection is
I
what
feel
we're
like we should
looking
look
for.
up Helisert now.
Total random LFOs. Yup.
Heli-
Yup. That's
This dude
been
sounds
killing.
smart.
Join Bitwig.
He is.
Oh, right. Yeah,
He is.
totally.
What,
So-
did you guys see?
Welcome our 6th guest on the podcast, Inspector.
Inspector Beck. He was
Yeah.
here last week,
He was actually here last week.
Go to
Oh, was he?
episode
Yeah, yeah.
131.
Hey guys,
Fuck
if
yeah.
you
And
want
you can listen to
random LFOs,
Just go to Bitwig.
look at this shit. Oh my goodness,
Oh,
you
yeah,
can save
no.
up to $100. Look how cheap that is.
You guys
It's
got-
$300.
$300.
That's how much we paid
Dude.
for it.
It's so much cheaper than Ableton. It's fucking stupid.
It is way cheaper.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've got to spare 3 years to learn a new DAW.
Yeah.
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 6 months.
Nah,
6
all-
months.
Switch.
It is 6 months.
6 months.
All
It
right,
is 6
well, I don't have $300.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Hey,
I was bluffing, guys.
hey, neither do I, dude. Neither do I.
Yeah.
I've
I
got
definitely didn't go in on
$28.
it with a friend of mine.
All right, so
What the fuck is that? That's Helisert?
No, sweet.
what?
Whoa, Inspector.
This thing looks cool.
Oh, yeah, that does look cool.
What am I
Is this a
looking
Max
at?
for Live patch?
It's got a skid. I like a skid button.
Yeah, it's got to be Max for Live, right, Inspector?
Click
Yeah.
buy this. Let me see how much it is.
Where's the Bible? 50
He says he
bucks.
throws his entire tracks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It
Resample
looks
the
like-
whole track.
It looks like a biome device kind of thing. It
Yeah.
kind of just fucks shit up.
No.
Granulation,
I love
Looping,
glitch,
Love some granular.
glitch shit.
slows.
But you're applying that to modulation? Is it modulating?
Yeah, can you map it to things? What's going on here, Inspector Beck?
Yeah, you got to be able to map it,
Granulator.
It looks like
tran-
it purely is a
transit shaper.
mappable thing. It looks like
right?
I think you just fuck with it and resample.
Right.
100%.
Exactly.
100%.
Speaking of this randomizing things and Phase Plant, one thing I wanted to say is Phase Plant has LFO tables. So like a wave table, it has LFO tables. So you could randomize a wave table or a LFO table so it has like pluck at the beginning and then at the end it can be like a nice fucking like wide wub of some sort. And you can have it randomizing between those moments, which
I'm
helps a lot.
so jealous of that.
Sick.
That sounds like so much
Phase
fun.
Plant.
I'm gonna try that. Oh yeah.
Fuck.
All right. Back to the question because Victor answered. I never answered.
Oh,
What
yeah,
was
yeah.
it?
Yeah, of
New
course.
techniques that I've been liking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What's it?
I'm gonna answer the question, then the opposite question too. So new
Okay.
techniques today. Working with Chef Womp.
Yeah.
Just fucking starting from a simple sine wave with the bass, which that tune we showed you with all those wubs. It was that, and then I was like,
Hell
how
yeah.
the fuck are you making all these like really? Because he's been making such sick 140 wubby shit, like Black Box type shit, and I'm like, how the fuck are you making that? And he's like, with Ableton's auto filter.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the resonance.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's like I'm gonna be using that forever now. It's so fucking simple. You just automate it. Like you can do it, with the envelope on quarter notes or whatever.
Totally.
I like doing shit in the automation lane so I can kind of like fine tune it.
Oh, totally.
No, that's a cool one that I'm gonna be using for a long time.
So sine wave
Yeah, sine wave.
And then auto filter.
Yeah, and then auto filter, and then of course you're gonna do some distortion and stuff,
Yeah,
something that I've been kind of doing.
Probably distortion before the auto filter.
Yeah, no, most
then
of
you
the
can
stuff
play with-
before auto filter. Like afterwards, if you need to bring the sound up, maybe you'll like OTT it and distort it and stuff or whatever. But yeah, no, just a sine wave, which his patch was from a Moog sine wave. So it's going to be analog and a little bit nicer. And
Little bit
that's
extra
that's
harmonic.
different
Already
than a
gonna
sine
have-
wave.
No, all right, you're right. That's different than a sine wave.
It's just a pretty sine wave.
But it's
It's
a
a
pretty sine
really
wave.
nice,
And you
lovely
can-
sine wave.
It's a pretty
yeah.
girl.
And yeah, analog. is
Honestly, I should get
different
myself
than
a Moog
digital.
sign.
Oh, dude, Moogs are sick. I don't have one.
I gotta
but
check my library
I
for that
want
Moog
one.
sign.
I might have one.
Yeah.
We might have it. Oh fuck! We
Via
should have brought the. fucking
My
there
synth
an
doesn't
external
have a
hard
sine
drive.
wave option. The only way I can get a sine
Really?
wave is by filtering down like a saw wave or a triangle or something.
What?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I bet we could send you that patch, that preset
Yeah.
that he
we
made.
got the
It's
patch.
Oh,
you're gonna have
your-
to switch
your
back to
synth.
Ableton.
My
though.
my actual
Your
synthesizer,
outboard synthesizer.
my outboard gear.
I was like,
It does
Bitwig
not have a
has
sine wave on it.
signs? What are you talking about? Okay.
No,
But
but,
anyway.
also a little bit of Redux before that
Amen.
filtering.
Oh,
Oh,
you're
Yeah,
a Redux
that
guy.
I was gonna
Nice.
say I was fucking with this recently. Is I had a sound and I wanted to make it do a little bit more of a wub kind of a thing because it was just at 808, and I realized adding a bunch of noise and distortion and shit helped the wub kind of feel more like a wub.
There's more
Having
more context.
more saturation before the filter
right.
yeah,
movement
exactly.
makes a massive
Because
difference.
when the filter's moving, like all those different points of it, it brings out
Yeah.
weird harmonics.
And then, like you said, you go and process past that. And
Correct.
You have
exactly, yeah.
a nice. It is delicious.
And then an older new technique, which I feel like doesn't get talked on about much, is it's not really.
Yeah.
It's the sort of no processing technique, which I fucking love. I am the laziest producer you will meet, and that means I don't work. But like one of my favorite things is to make a whole song. If I can make a whole song out of just splice presets and do it in under 10 channels in like an hour, I'm the happiest man alive. And I don't feel bad about that at all.
fucking
Like
love to hear it.
maybe there's ways to go past that from that. But like so many people, like especially learning, you hear all this shit about sound design, and like it's just like, art. You don't have to do any of that.
Yeah.
It's like you don't have to process your drums.
Yeah.
You don't have to process anything. You can use other people's bass sound.
Yeah.
Like of course, if you use somebody else's bass sounds and make a drop that sounds like them, like all right, that's kind of whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Yeah.
like if you're making your own thing, that's my favorite fucking thing to do. Like put a kick in. If I pick the right kick, I don't need to process that. Like at all. If I pick the right snare that fits with the track, I don't need to process that at fucking
Yeah.
all. And if I get the right sounds, and if I get through the whole track, I don't need to do any sound design, which sound design's a weird term. Like technically doing that is sound design. Just dragging sounds off a splice and arranging them, that is technically sound design.
Yeah.
Like depending on how you
I don't know about that.
Depends on your definition of sound design.
That
but
would
yeah.
be
No,
sound.
No, that's, we're looking.
It's like
Arrangement.
procuring sounds.
Yeah, we're looking
or
into
something.
semantics with that. Right.
You're not really designing. You're
No,
just
no.
finding.
You're right, but like, what are we doing when we write a song? So that's one of the things that like
Oh,
I've
totally.
always been.
Totally.
That's been a huge part of my workflow. Not that I never do sound design, and I love to do sound design, but like I feel like a lot of people that get into it and like, all right, we got to make shit. Like, they look over that fact. It's like, no, if you find some drums that knock, and a sub that knocks, and a lead sound that knocks, or vocals that knock, and you throw them all together, like, and you can do the whole thing just mixing it with volume and not have any effects on it at all. Like, there is nothing wrong with that.
No.
Yeah,
And
nothing
that's
wrong
like
with that at
a
all.
huge part of my
It's a free
workflow.
country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn right.
So
You know?
you
I
have
might
like
stab you,
a
but-
hip hop mentality where it's like you love like sample digging and finding that and like how do you like flip something in that way? I love
I
that.
love sample digging, and I love hip hop too. I like pop music too.
Crazy.
That's a
Totally.
big part of yeah. No, I love that shit.
That's cool. That's cool.
I will say this though about that idea. It can be a bit of a trap because like just grabbing sounds, putting them in it, like you're getting a skill you doing it that way. And I'm doing it that way a lot right now, where I'm like dragging samples in like a motherfucker and not really trying to do a lot of designing of sounds. But the designing of sounds and learning how to make your own kick drum and learning how to make your own snares and learning how to make every little piece that you could possibly make gives you so much depth that you get to work with to be able to process things in more unique ways and fuck with things more. Sure. It's like, it's very valuable to have those abilities. Like, I think get those abilities, then do whatever the fuck you want. Like, drag the sounds in. Honestly, do whatever the fuck you want in general. Obviously,
but know that that's a
I
huge...
100% agree. With the learning process, I would say at first make songs out of just splice samples. Don't worry about building sound,
or just one sine wave sample.
Or just start designing sounds.
And it's hard at the beginning.
It's hard.
It is hard.
No. Fuck, yeah.
I think it's useful.
It's good to incorporate all of that. But I think the reason I say it like that is from all the like videos, the educational videos and the school, like online schools I've been through, like that doesn't get mentioned enough. And I think that's a very important thing. And like with bass music, yes, it is important to make your own sounds. But for the workflow and writing process, there's a lot of really fucking popular, like really fucking big bass music producers who will do that. And they're like, all right, this is how I'm going to knock out a banger, and I'm going to make it in an hour or two.
Dude.
And then after I'm done, I'm going to sit on it for a day or two, and then I'm going to come back, and then I'm going to replace those bass sounds, and I'm going to make the patches for that with my own thing. But it's sort of a workflow thing. It's like if you're like working through and trying to make a whole song, and you have to stop and work on a patch, you're going to lose. Most people, I do anyway. I think a lot of people are like this, where as soon as you have to do anything, whether it's 30 seconds of fucking with the plugin that you're not super comfortable with, that throws off your chain of thought.
Well,
me and Caleb were just talking about this.
Yeah, my retort to that would be if I was playing devil's advocate, which in my head, this is how I work, is like, you're too concerned about trying to make a banger in an hour. Like, just make some weird sounds. Like, just spend the time for a Saturday or 3 days just making sounds. You don't have to make a song every time you sit down. You can.
It's nice to though.
I know,
right?
But this isn't.
I'm always in that mentality. I need to be more in that mentality.
We're not, guys. We're not trying to get to heaven. It's about the journey.
I'm trying to climax as quick as possible,
dude.
You're not trying to get to heaven.
No.
Whoa.
No, the idea with that is
heaven isn't real, everybody. Come on.
The idea behind that statement is you don't worry about the journey. You just make sure you're doing all the right things so when the end comes, you're in heaven. No. Yeah. Worry about the journey. Have fun.
We're already in heaven.
Make weird sounds.
Be in the now, bro.
Correct.
Right. I agree with all of that.
This is a long journey.
I agree with
We're
going to
be doing this for a while.
100%. And actually hearing you guys say that, like, I'm going to think about that for, like, when I'm working.
Just have a good time.
But no, part of it is, I don't know. With music, there's no right decisions and there's no wrong decisions at all. Like, there is such a thing as a weak decision and a strong decision, and all it has to do with context and intent. Like,
like camping.
No.
Yeah.
Preach it.
Preach it. Yeah, let's go.
For real, though, there's no... Like, I studied jazz when I was younger, and that's all about,
Amen,
like...
brother.
I studied jazz, and I studied classical music. So, like, with classical guitar and classical music, like, you're all inside the things. If you go outside of the key... It's like very strict on how you do it. And with jazz, it's like, all right, we're breaking the rules, but we have to contextualize it. And that's very true on all of that. But like with what we're doing, like there's never a right or wrong decision that leads to anything. You know, there's just stronger decisions that we can make, but we have to contextualize it in the track that we're making
Right.
And then we have to be intentional about it to actually contextualize it.
Yeah.
And I guess back to the original point is it doesn't matter how you get from point A to point B.
Sure.
Like, all of these things are important. If you're going to be making music for a while, you do need to learn how to make a song just out of splice samples.
Totally.
And then you do need to make a song out of just a sine wave and make
Yeah.
all the samples from that. You need to do all of that.
Fucking
But
exactly.
in
Agreed.
point A to point B, like, none of that's, like, there's no fucking good or bad in any of that.
Totally.
It's all about fucking context and intention and how you pull that whole track together. Like, that's all that's important. Because once you get to a final product, people don't see any of the work you've done.
No.
Yeah.
It's
No.
sad.
No one cares.
So that's why it's cool to be talking with guys like you that actually make music. But people that listen to music, they're listening to, I mean,
Some people.
arguably
Some people that
one
listen to
sound.
music. Because I listen to music, and I'm very intentional about what I hear. So it's not everyone.
No, you're right. All right.
But most people,
I would argue
agree.
most people.
Yes,
yeah,
I
yeah,
agree.
Exactly.
I definitely agree.
Most and even me, when I'm super intentional, like, once I'm out there, even if I'm trying to be intentional about all that, there's, like, with all the social stuff, and I'm in a live setting, and I'm not actually in Ableton. Like, I don't think once I get back to the DAW, I find it hard to translate that. 'Cause
Sure,
I was like,
sure.
that was, like, such a weird thing being there. And when I was there, I was like, I was just listening to a song.
Right. Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So both things are useful. Being able to make a song from scratch with all your own fucking shit, doing every single point of the process, including building the computer, and then just dragging shit into Ableton with a Splice account and making a song that way, very useful too. We tend to fall on the annoyingly aggressively, like, doing all of our shit on our own side of things, which does lead to a lot of getting stumped in the process. And, like, I was telling Caleb, I just wrote this tune this week, and I was just snagging shit out of my sample folder and throwing it in there, and I was doing plenty of processing and whatnot, but I laid it out as soon as I could. And then I just started going and just finessing all the little moments and making little changes and adding effects. And, like, it is really fun to, like, build a skeleton really quick and then go and, like, really massage it into something with
There's
a shape
middle
and a
ground.
form. And,
There's a middle ground almost.
I think both workflows teach you different things.
Yeah.
So what Alby's talking about,
Totally.
and, like,
And
I've
the
kind of
same
seen it
thing
working
almost.
with him because, dude, we've been making music. What the fuck? Last 11 days straight, pretty much. And it's really interesting because both lead you to a different thing. Where it's just like, even if you're just, it's not. I don't think you're necessarily saying just like dragging splice samples. Where it's just like, it teaches you a different workflow, because a big part of, like, the workflow, which I've seen, is, like, audio editing, and it's been really impressive working with him because, like, dude, this cat doesn't get stuck. He never stops. Like, it never gets stuck, and I think a lot of that comes from, like, the workflow of, like, editing and arranging, whereas if you do get stuck and you have the sound design capabilities, then you can keep going as well, because not every splice sample is going to, like, give you the thing. So, like, both of it, dude, we all know that.
It's all useful.
Yeah, all
it's
of
a
it's
mix
useful.
of
It's
everything.
all different useful lessons to learn. The more you know.
At the end of the day, whether you make the samples or not, you're just dragging samples into the DAW.
I think,
Like, it doesn't matter if they're
exactly.
from Splice or if you made them.
When it comes down to it, with the finished song, somebody made every sample, and then
Correct.
somebody arranged it, and then whoever people mixed it or mastered
Correct.
it or helped
Correct.
out with it. It's like
Yeah.
people did all of this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like
That's
you know,
why arrangement
every
is usually
song
number one.
is a remix, because
Unless
no
you're using
original sound.
Simplant
Something I
and then
slacked on for
a
a long
robot
time.
made it.
Because you could go even further back to the pure form of like art. If I'm in a DAW making every sound from scratch from a sine wave, you could go even further back and be like, Art, did you make that DAW?
Did you make the
Right.
synthesizer?
Did you make
Did
the
you-
dog?
Did you make the recording device? Yeah.
Did you invent computers?
That's
Like-
why I
Chicken or
said
egg.
all the way down to building the computer.
Exactly. No,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying anything's
Yeah.
better or worse. Like I'm saying nothing's better or worse.
Yeah.
There's just you
It's-
have to like
being an
get-
artist at the end of the day is all about taste.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. J-Mo, clip it.
Learning as many workflows as you possibly can that gets you to a finished product.
Yes, I love that. I love that.
Yes. yes,
Speaking
yes,
of
yes.
workflows,
God damn right.
I think we nailed that to the floor right there.
Yeah.
That was a good little ender moment. That was amazing.
We're gonna transition into a quick lightning round. Do you know what a lightning round
We're
is?
gonna make it quick.
Wait. Can I pee and get a beer first?
Yeah.
It's a lightning round.
It's gonna be quick.
I'm out. I'm gonna pee fast.
Okay, Pete.
Go
Yeah, go ahead.
fast.
But you have to. Will you get me a beer?
I will get you.
My man.
Any but beer?
No, I'm good. We'll start with
I'm
the
alright.
first.
Oh, you can't cock tease us like that.
I was
goddamn.
looking for like a. Do we have like a Jeopardy in here?
Oh, we should. We should get something like that. Vic, fucking my homework for the week though is definitely expression control and gradient because I've seen clips like recently, very recent. So I love that you brought that up. I got to check this out.
Dude, I could show you after the pod, and then also we
I'm
have Project Gradient Control. Don't tell nobody, but
Yeah.
it's just cool shit. Dude,
tell
randomization with
nobody.
Ableton Live was always kind of like a bit difficult and a pain point, and it's definitely easier now for sure.
Let's go. That's what I like to hear. Also, I don't remember exactly what it is. And Spect, if you're still here, when he was kicking it last week on the pod, he talked about this thing called Opal, which was a Max for Live device,
yeah.
which we tried to get and it just wouldn't work on my computer for some reason. But apparently he's been super, super pumped on that. Have you heard of that one?
I have
Opal
not heard
is
of
nuts.
Opal.
Yeah, I hadn't either.
What is it?
And
Is it Max for Live?
it's Max for Live, I think. Yeah, I'm like 90%. Yeah, Opal is nuts. Yeah, we tried to get it and it fucking wouldn't work. I'm so butthurt.
Inspector, I want to meet you, dude.
Yes.
Dude.
Holla at your
Yeah,
boy.
yeah, he's a
Let's
cool
go,
cat.
come make beats with us. Let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah. Inspector, this is one of like the OG homies who you will be friends
actually
with.
do. Victor actually answers shit.
That's true.
He answers his
And
phone
he
and
hides.
shit.
Yeah.
And he hides music on Instagram. But yeah, just like that. That's how
I
you
think
spell
I follow you. He's already following you.
it. Dude,
Sounds about right.
I
That
fuck-
would be
I
sick
fuck
if
with
you
you,
already-
bro. I think your music's dope.
Yeah, yeah.
It's $41.30.
Ooh,
Wow.
yeah, I've definitely never seen that one.
That
Yeah,
looks,
I-
like
No,
it. This
point-
is the best looking Max for Live I've ever
Oh,
seen.
isn't it? Isn't it nice? It looks nice. All of Ableton's Max for Live shit need to look like this, or even the gradient looked nice. It had some color. Like,
Yeah, but it still has all the Ableton looking.
I mean, it looks like the
buttons.
90s, but sure.
yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I said the 90s. I just mean old.
Contour. Noise.
I forget, was
envelope,
this,
phase,
Albie's an interesting cat, huh?
Yeah,
Dude,
he's a cool
what?
homie.
Dude, it's been
I like it.
Did you ever meet Wade?
Dude,
Oh.
that's what
It's
I
a
said,
producer
Yeah,
Wade.
He's
It's
like
exactly who
he's
it is.
bass producer, bass
yes.
producer
It's
Wade.
Dude,
amazing.
That's what I said when I first met him. I was just like, it's been interesting kicking it with him. One of the things I love is just like, dude, we could take the biggest tangents, and he's real good at coming back to what we were talking
Yeah,
about. Like,
He's like he remembers things.
Quality
Yeah.
time
We like him for that.
conversator.
yeah.
So one of the cool things about Inspector just said Opal has a surprise me button. So there's one like built in,
Oh,
just
sick.
randomize, which like we've talked about on basically. Oh, you're the man. Thank you, dude. I appreciate
It
it.
must.
Is it a dice?
Everything
Where's
just
the button?
needs a fucking random.
Might be that.
Yeah. Something.
Everything needs a random.
Oh, wait,
Everything.
it's-
Everything needs a random.
Yeah.
There's no reason why
Yeah.
that shouldn't be programmed
Oh
in.
my god.
Yeah.
Right. Like yeah.
True.
Dude, there's some free noise engineering synthesizers. I need to give this shout out to like noise engineering. Go to that website. They have a really cool distortion plugin and two really cool synthesizers that are free. They're VSTs. It's not Ableton or anything specific. They're the coolest fucking synthesizers. And the reason I love them is because they have a randomization on like the waveform setting of that. So it'll
Wait,
always just shit you out.
What are they
like,
called?
Noise engineering.
Noise engineering.
Wait, the waveform randomizes?
So, dude, the synthesizers
No.
themselves are cool, but like within that, there's a randomization in that. And dude, these synthesizers are free, and they came from making like modular gear, but they make a couple VSTs.
Which
But
one?
Okay. Okay.
Noise engineering, back them on all fronts. They're free. Their free plugin bundle or whatever is the shit.
I think I've heard of polydactyl somehow, somewhere. Damn.
Very good sounding synthesizers, very good sounding like oscillators, and they're just cool to work with.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh,
Sync-
default dark theme.
Sync
Thank you.
Verver, and Runa.
Yeah.
Oh, I have Runa. Runa's sick.
Oh,
dude.
you have one.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's good
thing-
sounding stuff, right?
This distortion unit's fucked up,
Dude,
dude.
Is it?
the synthesizers are equally as fun.
Okay, sick. Hell yeah.
Get that. It's free for everybody.
Shout out.
If you just need some good oscillators, good stuff.
Interesting.
All right,
Nice.
folks.
Let's do
Rapid
this lightning
fire.
round. Let's get the fuck off this thing.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Alex, we're
we
gonna-
should let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Let's
I have
fucking
a cigarette after we finish this.
Yeah. This pee break
Go
was
for it.
brought to you by Allstate, and you're in good hands.
It is
Goddamn
not
right.
brought to you by Allstate. Give me that fucking money though.
Oh, all right.
Allstate, if you're listening, like we need that money.
We would.
Speaking
They're
of
definitely
They
listening.
could never.
speaking of money, what's your most used Max for Live device, Ableton boys?
LFO cluster.
Me and Dave don't have to answer this question.
Oh, that's true. LFO cluster for sure.
That's your most used, like your utility
Chat
one.
can answer the questions
Okay.
as well.
There's an auto tune called Auto Tuna, like the fish.
Wow.
And yeah, that's how I did all my auto tune before I got the Antares.
Let's go.
And you
I
have to
didn't
like
know that was a
reset it and freeze and flatten it, and it fucks up the width of it. So you have to like condense it to mono, like
Yeah,
choose
yeah,
one of the
yeah,
sides,
yeah, yeah.
and then add your own width.
Holy shit.
That's probably the one I use the most.
Hilarious.
I haven't heard of that.
No, it's
Such a Wade thing to say.
Auto tune.
It's all fucked up, but this is the one I use the most.
no. I mean,
I love
well,
it. Give
I
me a
don't-
big fucking high five again, dude. I love this guy right
He's
here.
fucking cool,
I
right?
love this guy.
He's fucking cool.
My kind of human.
Hell yeah.
Vic, I know you got a good one.
Most
Dude,
used.
my most used one is the Swiss Army meter. It's just a
Yeah,
it's
that's
just a
what I was
Lux
gonna say.
meter. My favorite one is Buffer Shuffler 2.0. It's a cool step sequencer where you can just do weird shit.
Let's
Dude,
go.
Shout
Man.
out Buffer Shuffler.
Buffler
2.0.
Shuffler.
Inspector, what's your most used Max for Live? While you're
Hit it.
typing, we will go move on. If you could use only one third-party VST,
Soothe 2.
what? Really?
Soothe too.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No, I use no plugins ever.
And you use Soothe too.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, Soothe 2.
We'll just say.
If you make a whole song and you only need to do a few small things to it, like once you get to that mastering point, it's just some of those samples being a little too harsh.
That's fair.
Just distort the
I
voice.
abuse
All right,
Soothe
there you
too.
go.
Let's
Yeah,
not
dumb
say
answer, I
like
know.
synths
You
on
abu-
this. Also,
Right,
You
yeah.
abuse it?
Yeah, for sure. I love Soothe.
I wish I had it. I just haven't.
Yeah, I don't even fuck
It's
with that anymore.
It's worth it. I love it.
I gave up on Soothe 1, and I got a distortion. I got a distortion unit that does it better.
One aftermarket.
Third-party
One
VST.
third party.
One I've been really hyped on is
Not synth.
Melda's Turbo Reverb, the multi-band
sick.
Turbo
You
Reverb.
were telling me about that
Is
last
Shout out.
fucking. It sounds so good. It sounds so
I need to
good.
get that
Yeah.
fucking turbo reverb.
And
I
it's
keep forgetting
great. You're
that.
talking about like 11 presets. Like that's basically all I do with it. I've like only a handful of times gone through and actually like built a multi-band reverb sound. But like all the presets are so good. It has like close range, mid range, long range, like weird creative special effect reverbs. Like it's so much fun. Love it.
Also, I know this is a lightning round, but I don't love presets. I just think that they get overlooked a lot, and I'm lazy.
Agreed.
And I think like that's a good starting point. That's the same thing.
I agree.
To me, a preset in this like VST or whatever is the same thing as like, all right, if I've downloaded the VST, that's a preset. If I'm
Yeah,
using
it's fair.
Ableton is a preset. I'm using a
Hilarious.
cheap
fucking
laptop that
My
is a
preset DAW.
Yeah, exactly. The preset laptop.
Yeah.
I feel you. I feel you.
I'm gonna go
I got 10
multi-pass.
fingers. Those are my
Okay.
presets.
Kilohertz.
That's what I work with.
Kilohertz
Yeah.
multi-pass.
What is that?
Oh, multi-pass.
It's a multi-band
Effects
multi-effects unit by Kilohertz.
So
Yeah.
you get everything. You're saying that so you can get everything.
Yeah.
Multi-pass. is fucking Jesus Christ.
Okay. If I could only use one, I will say Shaper Box.
That's
Oh.
a good one.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
I've never used
Shaper
it.
Box is pretty dank.
I
What's
want it.
your favorite festival? I have not been to a festival, so I don't know.
Well, what's your favorite one if you could go?
I don't want to see a million bands over the course of several days. I would rather just go to a show one night.
Wow.
We're
Sorry.
old, everybody.
Boring old man question
I also,
over here.
I also
Or
don't want to
answer.
like miss somebody because I want to see this guy because they're on two different stages.
Yeah.
Like annoying. I just paid $400 to go.
I tend to agree with
Like,
this.
ugh.
I actually will just say aye to that.
Yeah.
Jesus
Also,
Christ.
don't care.
Yeah. Sorry.
So-
I've never been.
I want to play them.
Yes.
Electric Daisy Carnival in Vegas is
Mm.
fucking wild. The favorite festival I've ever been to, I went to Starscape Festival in 2010.
That's
and
cool,
that was the craziest fucking dubstep extravaganza I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
yeah.
wow. What was it called?
Starscape. It was in
Starscape.
It was in
Awesome.
Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay.
And it was literally the year where it's just like that was the first time I ever
Baltimore.
saw Zed's Dead. First time I saw Excision. That's the first time I saw
Damn.
Borgore. That's the first time I saw Skrillex was there. Dude, literally
Borgore.
everybody. That's
So good.
dude. That was actually Flux Pavilion and Dr. P's first show ever in America.
Wow.
Dr. P, shout out.
That's insane.
It was
That's
crazy,
fucking insane.
dude. I was in fucking high school and I had a fake ID. We had VIP tickets, free booze the whole time. Best festival ever.
Let's go.
That sounds about right.
Let's go.
Hell yeah.
That was the shit.
Inspector says Northern Lights or Camp Bisco.
Oh, Bisco,
hell yeah.
nice. What about you, Alex?
I haven't been to many. Probably Halloween.
Yeah,
Halloween?
that
From
sounds
where-
like it was pretty sick.
It's close to where I was living, and like I'm comfortable with the woods. I like to be able to camp at a festival.
Agreed.
That's
I
fucking.
can't
And being
imagine
able to
not being able
go
to camp.
into the woods and hide and be out of the sun
Correct.
no matter what time of year it is, that's fucking sick.
Sounds
Uh,
awesome.
And kind of be away from the sound if you
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Moment
if
to
I'm going to
breathe.
do a multi-day festival, I'm going to want to be tripping, which means I'm going to not want to be having to
Be around
traverse
everyone.
roads and
Right.
Ubers and things.
And I actually agree with what you guys were saying, where it's like I don't want to see 100 bands in one
Yeah.
weekend. Like, but to that effect, like Halloween, somewhere I know I can camp in the woods in the shade.
It's
pretty
Right.
good. That's
have
pretty
a good
good.
home spot, and then
And-
if I have one good person for that weekend,
Oh, yeah.
I can plan the whole weekend around that,
Yeah.
and then I'll see them, and it'll be the best thing ever.
There
Right,
you
you
go.
didn't
I'm
know.
fine with that.
You
I'll see
didn't-
random
Totally.
people the rest of
Totally.
the time. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
At that point, it's ignorance is bliss. If you don't know any of the acts, anybody you see is going to be cool. Where if you know every single act, you're paralyzed.
Yeah. You're like,
Yeah,
oh, I can't
which-
choose between these
Right.
two.
It's like, yeah, it's. Had I gone when I was younger, it probably would have been different. But I kind of skipped that boat because I was poorer when all my friends ended up going to festivals and all those kind of started to pop off. I was like, I can't go to these. I'm just going to go to Red Rock shows.
Yep. Yep.
And-
You blessed Colorado
Yeah,
kids.
goddamn
I know,
right.
right?
Not
Right.
growing up. In
Why
the
would
middle,
I-
Not growing up in the middle of New Mexico.
Yeah, no, I would go to Red Rocks. It's right there. I
Yeah.
can see STS9
We have
every
one of
year.
the best venues in the world. Like, yeah. It's just,
STS9
I think
throws the fuck down.
so I've also never been to a festival, but two
We're
that
setting
have
a
always
record
called to
for
me.
high fives on the pod.
That's good.
I think you beat it.
That is the record.
You beat it. I think Electric Forest would be really cool. Kyle's always talking about that.
Yeah, he is
Aeon
always
Voyage.
talking about that.
And then, of course, you know, the legend Burning Man. I've always
Sure.
wanted to go to Burning Man.
I've
That
just
wanna
seems
go
like-
there,
I want
too.
to play
Right.
it. I just want to play it.
I want to play it. Yeah, I think when my first time going, I'm gonna be playing there.
Yeah.
Dude,
I want
just-
to go to Burning Boy.
Just go to Burning Man with a fucking thumb drive. I'm pretty
Burning
sure you can play
Baby.
100
Freezing
sets
Boy?
for-
You're probably right.
Or Freezing Girl.
Yeah, Cold Girls.
Frozen Girl.
Frozen Girl.
Our last quick question here. I will go
Okay.
first, and then Dave will answer next, and then
Oh,
Austin, and then Chat, and then Alex. No, I'm just kidding. Anybody can answer. Splice or random online sample packs?
random online sample packs.
I will say random.
Oh, sorry, I went
random,
ahead.
No, it's all right. The random online sample packs are usually more fun. But
Yeah.
Splice is easier to get where I need to get going. quicker.
Inspector, your library is random online sample packs,
Yeah.
bro.
User library. I almost put that in there.
Got like 500 gigs of samples.
Yeah, that's right.
500
Yeah, exactly.
gigs, you
Send
psycho!
them.
What the
Send
fuck?
that shit.
Prove it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to share, bud?
Bring
I got
Bring the hard drive.
space on my hard drive, bro.
Bring the
I
hard
don't.
drive, bro.
I have like 30 gigs left. I constantly have to delete shit because I just keep
Constantly.
filling
I just
it.
added
yeah.
a hard drive.
You didn't just add it. It was a while ago.
It was less than a year ago.
That's a while ago.
True.
So no, go ahead. Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry, I didn't
Go
mean to
ahead.
cut you off.
Go ahead.
No, you
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
It's your turn.
No.
Victor, please.
I don't.
No, Victor, I swear you should go
Yeah.
right now.
All right. And what does Victor think?
I think Victor should go next.
No, guys, time out.
Okay.
Oh no, we
Time
lost.
out.
We lost Albie.
Whoa. I was just going to say that I think Victor should go next.
Okay.
Okay.
Victor?
I agree.
Victor, your thoughts?
Jesus Christ.
What was the question?
Yeah.
Splice or random online sample pack?
I was joking.
So, yeah, my sample library. I like keeping my sample library on my computer like very organized, where they're like kind of like personal ones, and I buy a lot of sample packs actually.
Yeah.
So like
big
my
ups.
user library is not like real huge, but those are my favorites.
Amen.
Fuck yeah.
Amen.
Fuck yeah.
So random
They
sample
feel
packs,
special.
Random sample packs that I have curated into my sample collection.
It's a good question.
What do you think, Alex?
Between spice.
Spice?
You guys like spice?
Hey, do you do
Smoke a little
spice?
spice?
Do you
my
do
guy?
spice?
So, no, between Splice and random sample packs, I obviously lean towards Splice because I'm used to it.
Sure.
And I
It's pretty
know-
easy.
It's
I know
it's our
shit's-
era right
I
now.
know shit's gonna be like pretty. It's gonna be pretty good most of the time. But I would go back to what I was saying earlier, to where whatever is the most appropriate thing for the song you're making, it doesn't actually matter. So like anything,
Sure, it's a sample.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's the lightning round.
It's all a sample.
It's the lightning.
It's just an opinion.
So Austin, you finish us off.
For the first like 5 years of my
Hurry up.
production, I would have said random sample packs online. But Splice
the
is like a
lightning
new
round.
thing to me
Yeah.
lately. I'm newer to it, so it's been a
Splice
lot
is
of fun.
Splice
So I'm
is
gonna say
fun.
Oh,
Splice
nice.
for now.
On
Yeah.
Splice.
I actually make every sample ever from scratch, so I don't own a single sample.
This podcast was a great time.
This was a good one. This was a great one.
I like the random.
We're almost 2
search
hours.
Parameter of
Oh.
Splice. Yeah, 'cause
Totally.
then you're not finding the most popular
But-
stuff. That's
but-
fun.
It is the same thing. If you type in rave stab and you click random, it's going to give you the same results
Well,
every time.
you have to get creative with what you search.
I
Oh.
agree. I agree. There's ways to
But
like hack it a
no,
little bit.
I have
but
noticed that.
it is kind of a pain.
Yeah.
I want them to update that a
Yeah.
little.
Isn't that
AKA
wrecked?
not
Yeah.
random.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not,
Not
random
random.
enough. It's not random
Right.
enough.
Yeah.
It's like
Splice, if
Netflix.
you're listening, quit fucking up.
Right.
Yeah, quit fucking up,
Right.
Splice.
Like,
Yeah.
And
it's
also
so
sponsor
easy.
us.
Splice,
Come on.
get better.
It's 2023. Like, what are you doing?
ChatGPT 4 Turbo.
Put AI in it, obviously.
Yeah, time out. Why does every doll not have AI integrated into it?
Exactly.
That's around
No,
the corner.
for real.
That's coming.
Agreed.
It's
That's
coming.
coming.
yeah, it's 2023.
Yeah. 2023.
Almost.
But
not,
I
but
feel like
it
it's a
is.
little late.
Yeah. They're behind the curve.
No, for real though.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for fucking joining us. This was a fun episode.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
What Instagram or whatever?
Any heights?
Alex, what is your
Oh,
social links?
I'm Alby. I go just follow me everywhere at Alby Bass Music. ALBY.
Alby Bass Music. ALBYBASSMUSIK.
Yeah, that's how you spell music.
So I mean C.
Pretty close.
Let's go.
I'll be bass mucus.
Bass
Mucus.
Guys, I'm changing
Alby
it.
Bass Mucus.
Alby Bass Mucus everywhere.
It's actually all
on
cats.
all
amazing.
socials,
So,
MySpace.com.
That actually is a good
Yeah.
troll.
Also,
It's actually
Victor,
a
where do
good
we go to
troll.
find you?
Yeah, it's only on MySpace. Any Heights Music on whatever platform you can find it on.
Sweet.
Let's go. Let's go.
Beautiful.
Thanks for letting us get wild, boys.
Yeah, always, always.
Always400.com, folks. Exclamation point Discord. Don't
Shout
worry.
out Inspecta. Shout out Shaheladon being in chat.
Yep. Shout out our
Shaheladon.
followers.
We love you.
Shout out this
Shahidon.
bowling T-shirt.
Like and
Folks.
subscribe. Fucking rate, review, fucking
Caleb's
comment,
actually on his way to the bowling alley, which
do
is
all
why
the
he
things.
dressed up
true.
like that.
It's
So,
true.
Free Colorado.
free Colorado.
Get Californians out of our state. Folks, thank you again from Greendale, Colorado. We will see you next week.